After the sacrifice, there was silence. The world held its breath, cloaked in sorrow. It felt like hope itself had been buried, sealed behind cold, unforgiving stone. For those who had followed him, who had loved him, it was a time of deep despair. Everything they believed in seemed to have ended. In the quiet stillness of a borrowed tomb, the air was heavy with grief, and the future looked bleak and uncertain. It felt like the end of the story. But the story was not over. As the world slept, and the darkness of the third day began to fade, something miraculous was about to happen. A soft morning light started to creep over the horizon, and a gentle wind stirred, as if nature itself was anticipating a great shift. The powers of darkness had done their worst, but they did not have the final say. A new chapter was about to begin, one that would change the course of history forever. Suddenly, the heavy stone was rolled away, but it wasn't moved to let Jesus out. It was moved to let the world in, to let everyone see the impossible truth that lay within. Light poured into the dark tomb, dispelling the shadows and revealing a scene of utter astonishment. This was the moment that death's grip was broken. This was the moment that everything changed. The seal was broken, the guards were overcome, and the grave could no longer hold its prize. The tomb was empty, the burial cloths lay folded, but he was not there. For the women who came to anoint his body, fear quickly turned into wide-eyed wonder. The crushing grief that had consumed them began to give way to a flicker of unbelievable hope. The angel's words confirmed it. "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen." The absence in that tomb was the greatest presence the world has ever known. Jesus had risen. He was alive, victorious over the grave. He appeared to his followers, not as a ghost, but in flesh and bone, bearing the marks of his love. He walked with them, talked with them, and filled their hearts with a peace that surpassed all understanding. This wasn't just a comeback, it was the ultimate conquest. Love had faced down death itself and had won the final victory. The resurrection changed everything. It was proof that sin was defeated and death was broken. It turned a symbol of suffering, the cross, into a beacon of eternal hope. The despair of Friday gave way to the triumph of Sunday. Hope was no longer a fragile wish, it was a living reality, embodied in the risen Christ. This event sent ripples through eternity, offering new life to all who would believe. Because of that morning, we know the cross was not the end. The tomb was not the final destination. Jesus lives, and because he lives, our hope lives too. This is the promise that echoes through the ages, a promise of new beginnings, of forgiveness, and of a future filled with light. The story didn't end in darkness. It began anew in the glorious light of the resurrection. Thank you for watching. If this message touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content.